Okay, so warm-up wise, if you were here last week, exactly the same as what we did last week. So you got 4 exercises. I'll just quickly go through the exercises. So your first one, you're going to do worms. Sounds a little bit weird, but legs nice and straight. You want your hands on the floor. You're going to walk out into your press-up position. Once you're in your press-up position, try and keep your legs as straight as you can. You're just going to walk your feet to your hands. You're going to stand up, turn around, go back out the other way. So legs nice and straight, hands on the floor, walk out into your press-up position, and then just walk your feet to your hands. You can do 5 of those. After you've done your 5, on the last one, you're going to stay in your press-up position. You're going to lift your hips, so it's like you're kind of going into a downward dog. Your left hand's going to try and aim for your right foot, and then drop your hand and your hips back down, and then your right hand to your left foot, and then hips back down. You're going to do 10 of those. Then you're going to pop yourself up, and you're just going dead straight forward. Just 10. Oh, my knee's clicking again. Just 10 bodyweight squats. And then after the bodyweight squats, you're going to pop yourself onto your floor. Big stretch out your arms and legs. As your arms are coming up, you're going to lift your feet. Tuck your knees right the way into the chest, so you're coming right up onto your sit bone. And then straight back down to the floor. So you can rest on the floor. And then just tuck back up. So you're going to do 5 worms. 10 of the toe touches. 10 squats, 10 of the tuck-ups, which is the ab exercise. You're going to go through that twice, and then I'll run through all the kettlebell stuff. Okay? So if you start on the end of your mats, if you've got a mat or the floor, wherever you start. So if you do your 5 worms, so hands on the floor, walk out into your press-up position, and then just walk your feet and just try and keep your legs as straight as you can. Stand it up, turn around, and then go back out the other way. So you're going to do 5 of these. If you need to bend your legs, you can bend your legs. Just try and keep them as straight as you can. Hopefully you shouldn't lose count just doing 5 of them. And then on that last one, once you've walked your hands out, just stay in your press-up position. You're going to lift your hips back up, so you're kind of going into your downward dog. Try and get your left hand to your right foot, and then just drop your hips back down, and then right to left, and then just keep going backwards and forwards. So you should feel it kind of stretching out your back of your legs. So you can do 10 in total for your toe touches. And then once you've done your toe touches, if you just pop yourself up, and then just do 10 squats. Now, if you just make sure you keep your feet flat on the floor. And then once you've done your 10 squats, pop yourselves down and do 10 of those tuck-ups. So big stretch out. Try and get right up onto your bum. So right up onto your sit bones. And then once you've done your 10, just go back into that first one, so back into those worms again. So it's legs nice and straight, walk out into your press-up position, and walk your legs in. So you should feel it stretching out the back of your legs. And again, on that 5th one, once you've walked your hands out, you're going to go into those 10 toe touches. So it's into your downward dog, left hand aim for your right foot. Drop your hand and your hips back down, and then right to left. And again, once you've done your 10, You pop yourself up and then go into your 10 squats. Obviously, the door's going to go.
Oh, thank you. They don't leave a card. I've been trying to feed it to find out which neighbour it was.
No problem. See ya. I've completely forgot what I was up to. After you've done those squats, just go back into your tuck ups. So you've got your 10 tuck ups or your 10 crunches. If you can get right up onto your sit bone, that's perfect. If you can't, I wouldn't worry too much. Okay, right, so you've basically got 4 5-minute AMRAPs. So in the 5 minutes, the exercise I'm going to go through with you, you want to keep repeating them for 5 minutes. So you want to get through as many rounds or as many reps as you can in the 5 minutes. Each 5-minute piece is going to be slightly different. So there's different exercises. So this is where it's going to get a little bit confusing. I'll run through them all. And then as we start on each one, I'll quickly just recap over everything because you might get a little bit lost. So the first 5 minutes, you could do kettlebell swings, which I'll just run through with you. You could do some reverse lunges and you could do push-ups. Okay, so you basically got to keep repeating those. For the swings, if you just quickly go through it, you're going to be shoulder width apart with your feet. Knees stay still, so you want to hinge at the hips so you get all that load in your hamstrings. Grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, go back between the legs, and then just straighten your legs up as fast as you possibly can. Okay, now for the swings, you're going to do 30. Okay, so 30. So it's quite a lot of reps. After you've done the swings, you're then going to do reverse lunges. Now for the lunges, I don't mind how you hold onto the weight. Okay, so if you want to hold the weight by the ball with your thumb and fingers around the handle and hold it there. If you want to hold it that way, if you want to hold it that way, really don't mind. As long as you keep the weight up at your chest, don't really mind how you hold on to it. But for the lunges, you're going to go backwards. So if you start with your feet hip width apart, you want to take a big step back, try and get your knee as close down to the floor as you can, and then stand back up. So it's a big step out, knee down, and then step back up. So as you step back, try and stay nice and upright with your upper body. Try not to lean forward and watch you just don't drop right onto your knee. So big step back, step in, okay? After your lunges, you're then going to do 10 push-ups. Okay, for the push-ups, if you can do them on your toes, perfect. If you can't, just drop to your knees from it, don't really mind. When you're setting up for your push-up, even if you're doing them on your knees, start with your hands right underneath your shoulders, but then lean forward into it a little bit. So as you lower down, you've got your hands level with your chest. Okay, so you're not starting there and lowering and let your elbows pop out to the side. So start on your toes, lean forward. You can pop your knees down if you need to, and then do your push-ups from there. If you want to do them on your toes, exactly the same. Okay, so for the first 5 minutes, you're going to keep repeating 30 swings, 20 lunges, and then 10 push-ups. And you just keep going through that for 5 minutes, okay? The next 5 minutes will be a buzzer that'll go. We're going to change the exercises. You can do the swings again. So it's going to be another 30 swings. You're then going to do 20 goblet squats. So again, just like the lunges, I don't really mind how you hold on to the kettlebell as long as you keep it up at your chest. So for the squats, roughly shoulder width apart, keep your elbows in, try and squat nice and low. If you're all the way down here, so right at the bottom of your squat, Just make sure you got your elbows on the inside of your knees, so you're not pushing your knees in, because then to get up, you'll start kind of doing this. You'll really struggle getting up. So keep your elbows in, screw your feet into the floor, create that kind of hole for your bum to drop into. Okay? You could do 20 of those, and then you could do 10 overhead presses. So for the overhead presses, you want to hold on to the kettlebell by the ball and then just lock your thumb and fingers around the handle. I'll do this kneeling down so you can see what I'm doing, but you can do it stood up. So start just above your chest. As the kettlebell comes over your head, just bring your head through your arms. So make sure you finish with your biceps right next to your ears. And it's just straight up and down overhead. Just make sure you lock the arms up. If you find yourself leaning back, so you're kind of doing this as you try to press up, just put one foot behind the other. So you can go into a split stance and it'll just help straighten you up a little bit. So the second 5 minutes, you'll be doing 30 swings, 20 squats, and then 10 overhead presses. Okay? The third 5 minutes, you could do the 30 swings again, but then you're going to do 20 mountain climbers and then 10 thrusters. So for the mountain climbers, you press up position, knee into your chest, other knee into your chest. You can go as slow as this if you want, or you can speed up and just go nice and fast with your feet. As long as you keep your hips down and try and keep your shoulders as still as you can, your 20 reps is going to be both legs. So if you pick a leg to count on, just count on one side or count to 40, whatever's easiest. Your thrusters is basically the squats and the overhead press put together. Okay, so you're going to hold on just like you did for the overhead press. So hands around the ball, thumb and fingers locked around the handle. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing with my upper body, but basically you want to squat down. As you're standing up, shoot the kettlebell up overhead. As it's coming back to the chest, you're dropping back into the squat. So it's putting the squat and the press together, but there's no pause in the middle of it. So it's just straight up and straight down. Okay. So the third 5 minutes will be 30 swings, 20 mountain climbers, 10 thrusters. The last 5 minutes, there's no way you're going to remember all of this. The last 5 minutes, you can do 30 around the body passes, 20 Russian twists, and then 10 crunches. So the last 5 minutes is all abs. Okay, so you basically got 5 minutes of abs at the end. Around the body pass, dead simple. Hold on to the corner of the kettlebell. Keep your feet roughly hip width apart. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can bring your feet together. Keep your arms nice and straight. You're going to pass the kettlebell around the back of the body, swap hands, and then swap hands in front. Okay, so you're basically just going to pass it round. Now you want to try and keep your arms as straight as possible and then create as big a circle as you can. And you can kind of let your hips flow from side to side and rock side to side with it. So like I say, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can go closer with your feet. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can go closer apart. Just make sure you've got nothing valuable nearby that potentially you can launch your kettlebell into. Don't make that same mistake of what I've done in the past. And you're going to do 30 of those. So every time it passes around the front, just count that as a rep. If you want to do 50 in one way and then do 50 and go in the opposite way, entirely up to you. I don't mind. You could just do 30 going one way and then the next time through do 30 going the other way. I don't really mind how you do it. After you've done your round the body pass, your Russian twist is basically sat on your floor. Hold on to the kettlebell. I would hold on by the handle, so the ball's at the bottom. You want to lean back, twist over to one side, and then twist to the other side. So you can keep your feet flat on the floor if you want, or if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can hover your feet up. Don't mind how you do it. All I would say on this one, make sure you rotate the whole body around. So don't just move your arms all over the place. Make sure you actually twist the torso around, okay? After you've done 20 of those, so that'd be 20 in total, you're then going to finish, and Matt keeps moving, you're then going to finish with 10 double crunches. So it's a little bit like the tuck-ups that you did in the warm-up. So again, hold on to the ball, slight bend in the arm, bring the kettlebell back overhead. Before it hits the floor, you want to lift your feet up, bring your knees over your hips, and then reach with the kettlebell over your shins, And then a big stretch out without hitting the floor. So you're tucking in, you're keeping your lower back down, and then you're stretching back out. So it's tuck in, stretch out. Okay, so for that last 5 minutes, you've got 30 around the body passes, 20 of the Russian twist, and then 10 crunches. Like I said, you're not going to remember half of that, but basically the first 5 minutes, 30 swings, 20 lunges, 10 push-ups. Okay, just keep repeating that for 5 minutes. As we're getting towards the end of the 5 minutes, I'll tell you what you're doing for the next 5 minutes. Okay, so it's all back to back. So basically you've got, if you can do it without stopping, you've got 20 minutes of moving. Okay, 4 lots of 5 minutes. It's dead simple. It's always 30 reps, always 20 reps. Third exercise, always 10. Okay, I will keep shouting out what you're doing. I'll keep giving you little pointers of where you're up to time-wise. I can't really see anything that you're doing, but try and get your technique right. If you need to take a break, take a break. Obviously 20 minutes is quite a long time. Take some water on if you need to and just keep wiping yourselves down. When you get to the last 5 minutes, just to give you a little bit of advice for this last one, because I'll probably forget when we're doing it. On the around the body pass, before you start that last 5 minutes, because you're going to be sweating, wipe your hands down. So if you've got a towel, just give your hands a wipe down. Otherwise, you're going to launch the kettlebell. Like I said, if you've got a nice floor or vases or a nice TV nearby, you don't want to be launching a kettlebell into something quite expensive. Okay, that should make sense. So the first 5 minutes, 30 swings, 20 lunges, 10 push-ups. Once you've done the push-ups, just go straight back into the swings. Okay, does that make sense? Should be fairly straightforward. Okay, we're going to go in 10 seconds. I'm going to trust you all to count to 30 and 20 and 10. Okay, you're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So 30 swings to start off with. So nice and fast, driving your hips through. So just want to make sure you relax, your arms and shoulders off. Don't worry too much about how high the kettlebell is going. Fast you drive your hips through, the higher that kettlebell will go anyway on its own. So once you've done your 30 swings, you've got 20 lunges. So don't mind how you hold on to that kettlebell. Feet roughly hip width apart. Just make sure when you step back, you keep those feet hip width apart. So don't try and cross your legs over at the back because you'll lose your balance, and just stay nice and upright. So you probably find your biceps might start taking a little bit of a hit on this, keeping that weight up if it's heavy enough. So it's just 20 in total. And then once you've done your 20 lunges, you've got 10 push-ups. So again, if you need to do the push-ups on your knees, you can do. And then once you've done your 10 push-ups, just go straight back into your swings. And you've got 3 minutes. So it's just taking 2 minutes to do one round. Get nice and fast, driving those hips forward. And then just relax your arms and shoulders. And then once you've done your 30 swings, you're back into the lunges. So you've got 20 lunges. So again, just make sure you take a big step back. Keep your torso upright. And then once you've done these 20 lunges, you've got your 10 push-ups again. Whew. Oh, it suddenly gets really warm. And then once you've done your 10 push-ups, you're back into those swings again. Okay, you got 1 more minute on this 5-minute block. So again, 30 swings. You've got another 30 seconds. So if you manage to get these swings in, just get as many lunges as you can in. You've got 15 seconds. So if you keep going your next lap, when I tell you to in 10 seconds, you're going to repeat your 30 swings, and then you're going to do 20 squats, and then 10 presses. 3, 2, 1. So 30 swings again, and then 20 squats, and 10 presses. So you're on to that second lot of 5 minutes. So if you just finish those swings up, you're going to end up doing 60 swings on the bounce. So again, on this one, you're just replacing the lunges with squats, and then you're replacing the push-ups with an overhead press. And then what you're probably going to find on these swings now, your forearms might start aching a little bit because of the holding on with the kettlebell. So once you've done these 30 swings, you've got 20 squats. So again, just keep the kettlebell up at your chest. Try and get nice and low. On the squat, just keep those elbows drilled in. And just make sure you keep your feet flat on the floor. So if you need to go a little bit wider with your feet, just go a little bit wider. And then once you've done your 20 squats, you've got 10 overhead presses. I'll do this kneeling down so you can see what I'm doing. So basically you want to hold on to the kettlebell by the ball, thumb and fingers around the handle, press that weight straight up overhead. Make sure you bring your head through your arms. So you've got your ears right next to your biceps. And then just lock the arms up. And then once you've done your 10, whew, back into your swings. So you've got 2.5 more minutes. So you should be able to get another full rounding of this one. So again, just relax that upper body off. Let your hips do all the work. Some nice straight legs at the top. So again, once you've done those 30 swings, back into the squats. So again, don't really mind how you hold on to that kettlebell, but just keep it up at your chest. Keep those feet flat on the floor. And then once you've done those squats, 10 overhead presses. We're all on summer, so we can actually train outside. It's so hot inside. So you don't need to do the presses kneeling down. I'm just doing it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, you got 20 seconds for the next 5 minutes. Next 5 minutes, swings stay where they are, so 30 swings still, then 20 mountain climbers, and then 10 of the thrusters, so the squat and the press combined. In 3, 2, 1. So 30 swings again. So if you just got halfway through your swings, you're back on 30 swings. So you have to try and straighten those legs up as fast as you can. So you get that full extension at the top of the swing. And then once you've done your 30, it's 20 mountain climbers. So that's your press up position. Make sure you get your hands right underneath your shoulders. Nice and fast with the feet, but just count on one side. Or 20 on both legs, however you want to count it. And then once you've done your 20, you've got 10 of the thrusters. So that was the squat, straight into an overhead press. So you're going to squat down as you stand up, shoot the kettlebell overhead as it's coming back into the chest. You drop back into the squat. And then once you've done your 10, back into the swings again. So you've got 3 more minutes. Someone needs to add up how many swings we're actually doing. It's quite a lot. So again, just keep working at your own pace. If you need to take a break, take a little break. Just don't take 5 minutes. So again, 30 swings, and then 20 mountain climbers on each leg, and then 10 thrusters. So we've got 2 minutes. Oh, I need some water. So after your mountain climbers, 10 thrusters. And then once you've done those 10 thrusters, back onto your swings. Less than a minute. $30. Okay, in 10 seconds, you're in the last 5 minutes. 30 around the body passes, 20 twists, 10 crunches. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So hold on to the corner. Try and keep your arms as straight as you can. Count every time you pass that kettlebell around the front. If you want to make it a little bit harder, pop your feet together. Create a bigger circle as you can. If you want to do all 30 one way, then just change direction on the next round, or do 15 and then switch direction. I think we need a punishment if anyone drops it. So once you've done 30 of these in total, you've got 20 of the Russian twists. So again, you're going to feel this quite a bit on your forearms, gripping onto that kettlebell. And then on your Russian twist, onto your bums, hold onto the kettlebell. By the handles, make sure you lean back, twist it all the way around to the other side. If you're going to tap the floor, just make sure you don't bounce the kettlebell across. You want to make it a little bit harder, you can lift your feet up off the floor. And then once you've done your 20 twists, you've got 10 double crunches. So you're going to be flat on your back. Hold onto the kettlebell by the ball again. Big stretch out before the kettlebell hits the floor. Lift your feet up. Bring your knees over your hips. Reach with the kettlebell over your shin, and then a big stretch out without hitting the floor. You'll do 10 crunches. And then once you've done your 10 crunches, just pop yourself back up, and then back into that around the body pass. So you've got 2.5 minutes left, and then we're done. So if you want to make it a little bit harder on these passes, pop your feet together. Then you can do 30 in one direction, or I'm switching direction after 15. And then once you've done your 30 round the body passes, back onto those 20 twists. So you can move your feet down or hop your feet up. Make sure you lean back all the way around to one side, all the way to the side. Make sure you rotate that chest round. And then once you've done your 20, back into those 10 crunches. So again, when you get to these 10 crunches, just try and keep your feet in the kettlebell off the floor. You're going to feel it when you get that big stretch out. That's what you're going to feel it on your abs. And you've got 30 seconds left. So once you've done those crunches, just try and get through as many round the body passes as you can. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and relax it. Whew. Oh, sweaty mess. Whew. Oh. It's actually 20 minutes done, 20 minutes of non-stop work. We'll just have a quick stretch out, and then you're free to kind of get on with whatever you're doing for the rest of your day. Just move this so you can see what I'm doing. Oh. Good thing with stretching over Zoom, I can't see how bad your flexibility is. And you can't really hear all the moaning I'm going to do when I'm stretching. So the first one for your hamstrings, tuck your knees into your chest. And then if you can, grab your heels. So they'll be all tucked up nice and tight. You want to walk your feet away and just get your legs as far away as you can without sitting upright. So you're not grabbing your toes and arching your back, trying to stretch out. Grab your heels, keep your chest on your thighs, and then just walk out as far as you can, keeping that chest down. And then with your toes, without grabbing your toes, pull your toes back. So you try to point your toes towards your forehead. So you should feel it stretching right kind of up your calf, especially if you pull your toes back, right up your calf into your hamstrings. And if you slowly come out of that, if you leave your left leg in front, any problems with the knees, just pop your right sole of your right foot so it's on the inside of your leg. If you can, bring your leg around the back. So it's like it's called a hurdle stretch. So it's like you're trying to jump over a hurdle. But again, bend your, with my left leg. So bend your left leg at the knee. So shift your rib cage over your thigh. Try and get your forearms down first if you can. And then try and straighten that leg up, but keep that chest down. So again, try not to sit bolt upright, trying to grab your toes, because then you end up just stretching your back out and not your hamstrings. So we think about trying to get your forearms down, keep your chest down. So you should still feel it right at the back of the leg. And then, as with the last one, just keep pulling your toes back. And then slowly come out of that. Just bring your left leg, bring your right leg out to the side. So split your feet. I'm going to say as far as possible. Split your feet as far as what's comfortable, not possible. Clasp your hands together. Start over one leg, and then just bounce yourself across the other leg. Then just keep bouncing backwards and forwards. Again, just try and get a little bit further on each bounce. If you're really flexible, your head should be on the floor. If you bring your feet back together, And then again, this time you're going to stretch that right leg out. If you need to bring your foot so it's on the inside of your leg, you can do, or if you can, just bring it around the side or around the back. Bend your right leg at the knee. Again, try and get your chest on your thigh. Try and get your forearms down, and then once you've got the forearms down, if you can, try and straighten that leg up. So you're trying to keep your chest basically as low down to your thigh as you can, and then keep pointing your toes towards your head. And then if you slowly come out of that, leave your right leg in front, just bring your left leg, so your knees back round, so you're in your kind of your bottom of your lunge position. Just make sure you've got a box with your calf and your thigh, so this little hole between your legs is a nice box shape. Pick your left foot up. If you need to use a towel or a strap to lift that foot up, you can do. Put your heel in. If you can feel it stretching on your left quad already, just stay where you are. If you can't feel anything, just let your knee drift forward and then let your hip sink into it as well. You should feel it pulling right up the quad into the hips of that left leg. And then slowly come out of that and then just switch your legs around. So you get your left leg forward, right leg back. Again, just make sure you got that box shape. Pull that heel in nice and tight. If you can feel it on your quad, again, just stay where you are. If you can't, let your knee and your hips sink forward. Try not to just lean forward at the waist because that just shuts your hips off. So stay nice and upright. And then just let the whole body from your knees through your hips onto your shoulders just all sink forward together. So you should feel it right from the top of your kind of hip flexor all the way down the quad. And then slowly come out of that one. And two more, then we're done. Just bring your hips over the top of your knees. Big stretch out the arms, leave your bum stuck up in the air, and then just try and sink your chest and your chin down. So your arms are nice and straight. So you should feel it all the way down, kind of like the sides of your back, all the way down the middle of your back and your spine. Like a cat stretch, that's what it is. And then the last one, just bring your toes together. So you're pointing your toes together. Pop your knees out to the side. Sit back onto your heels. Relax your arms out in front. Relax your head down. And you can just kind of chill out there for a sec. It's quite a nice one just for your lower back. Loosen off your back. Especially after all those swings. That's it, guys, all done. Nice easy one for you today.